When I was younger and happier, I thought that the space race was a friendly competition. Like, oh, space is cool. Last one there's a rotten egg. Ha, Russia, you cracked me up. Right behind you. See, in the mind of a 6-year-old, the only reason a government needs to spend billions of dollars on going to space is because space is cool. The reality is a lot less idealistic. For instance, little me would have been pretty upset to hear that rockets were first invented in the democratic oasis that is Nazi Germany. The guy who invented them, Wernher von Braun, really wanted to go to space and join the military so they'd fund his research. He designed the V2. The Nazis were like, Brownie, this looks really good. We just want to make a few minor... There we go! When World War II ended and the Nazis were done giving England the world's biggest fireworks show, America took all of Germany's scientists and Russia took all of their equipment. And so began the competition to find fun, creative, exciting ways to obliterate humanity. And then, Sputnik. Now, the Soviets weren't trying to terrify America with their satellite. If they were, they wouldn't have given it such a delightful name. But American rockets had a bad habit of exploding, so people took Sputnik as a sign that we were behind in the arms race. There was also the fear of weaponized satellites being unleashed from outer space, things that could blow up DC Independence Day style. In response, America sent up their own satellite a year later, but it was a lot lighter, and Russia had already shot up a dog. That's just how the space race went for a while. They were Pixar, and we were DreamWorks. They had the first satellite, first animal, first human in space, first spacewalk, first space station, and a heartfelt tale of a father journeying across the ocean to rescue his son. And we had a lot of honorable mentions and Will Smith fish. So, what was the turning point? How did America win the space race? Well, it started when they jacked up NASA's budget in 1961. With so much extra money, they made it their primary objective to get to the moon. They started the Apollo program. Progress was initially delayed because the crew of Apollo 1 tragically died in a fire during training, but NASA got to work on improving things for their next mission. And right after Apollo 1, they launched Apollo 4. Guys, you're scientists. Anyway, Apollos 4 through 6 were unmanned test flights. Apollos 7 and 9 were both manned tests, with Apollo 8 being the first manned flight to orbit the moon. Apollo 10 was another orbital mission, and then wham! Apollo 11. We won the space race thanks to Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and the other one. And that did end it. The Soviet lunar program never really got off the ground, and excluding a few outliers, the rest of our lunar program was a success. You may be wondering what the military significance of a lunar expedition is. I mean, we weren't weaponizing the moon, but we did feel the need to compete with the Soviets in every possible sphere, not just military ones. The media in particular painted it as a moral battle. Victory in the space race was seen as a symbolic defeat for communism, proving on every fundamental level the dominance of the Western world. So basically, we wanted bragging rights. $25 billion bragging rights. You know, that's both less altruistic and more immature than the excuse that I thought of as a 6-year-old. I started researching this for the same reason Wernher von Braun started his research. I like space. Governments don't seem to like space unless researching it means we can commit some sort of atrocity, and that's pretty apparent considering NASA's recent budget cuts. But I like space because space is cool. Maybe the best thing about the space race is that it inspired generations of scientists, engineers, and artists with terrible haircuts. Plus, we always have SpaceX, the privately owned company trying to get to Mars. Wow, I guess capitalism really did win.